at this moment, and this with regard to the Asia Cup. Ravindra Jadeja appears to have been ruled out of Asia Cup 2022. There's possibly a knee injury that we are being told that he has had to now walk out of the Asia Cup. Remember, he's an Indian player who's an all-rounder, Jadeja, but he has been this time ruled out. We are waiting for a confirmation about who possibly will be the replacement and will then have to join the team in Dubai, where currently the Asia Cup is on. But this is a big news that's coming in, and I want to quickly toss and go across to my colleague Nikhil Naz, because in Dubai he's tracking all the latest. Nikhil, over to you with this big news.
Thanks a lot for that, Pooja. Yes, that's right. That's the biggest news coming out of the Indian camp. That is Ravindra Jadeja, the star all-rounder who played a stellar role in India's performance in versus Pakistan with the bat, and then he had a very good performance against the Hong Kong team with the ball as well. He has been ruled out of the Asia Cup. BCCI has already announced a replacement in Axar Patel. What's really interesting as far as the news of Jadeja is concerned, that there were no signs of any sort of niggle with Ravindra Jadeja in this tournament so far. You saw him in the game versus Pakistan. He was looking really fit, and then you saw the game against Hong Kong. You would have thought that if there was any sort of niggle, he could have rested in the game versus Hong Kong. That wasn't to be, and then we saw visuals of the Indian team just from about 10 hours ago when they were having a lot of fun and frolic on the beach. There were also shots of Ravindra Jadeja riding that water bicycle, which is a tough task if your knee is not 100% up to the mark. But then comes the news, and that's why I say it's come as a bolt from the blue, completely surprising. Pragyan Ojha, former India player, joins us live on the show. Pragyan, firstly, you reckon it's going to be a big blow for the Indian team because of the all-round performance that Ravindra Jadeja brings with him? He's truly, in all sense, a three-dimensional player. Not only does he give you some batting, some bowling, great fielding, also this one very little aspect we don't talk about ensures that your over rate is also under check with the way he goes about his overs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big blow. But saying that, as you know, Indian cricket has reached a pinnacle where they have got man-to-man replacement. When you talk about experience, yes, Jadeja has a lot of experience, but Axar Patel, when you see he's
Pragyan, can
ready,
you hear me?
he can definitely give you he'll be handy with the bat. He can bowl well. We have seen that. And fielding, yes, he can do. So he's kind of a man-to-man replacement. But when you talk about Jadeja's experience, yes, we will miss it. And the only saving grace is that it was Asia Cup and we have qualified for the Super 4. But thankfully, he should be ready, and he should be ready to go. Ready to go in the World Cup, and prior to that he should be fit.
Okay, before I throw the next question to Pragyan, let me just update you where I am at the moment. This is the ICC training facility, and this is where we've been seeing the Indian team practice. They're out at practice even now, but interestingly, this is not the ground where they'd be practicing. This was, they're practicing away from the prying eyes of the media at another ground, which is a little further away from us at the moment, and that's because maybe there are certain drills that they want to do, which they want to keep away from the media. As I mentioned earlier, when they were practicing here, we could keep a close eye on what the Indian team is doing, but now the practice session is further away where media isn't actually allowed to go. It's about 100 meters away from me. It was an optional training session of the Indian team, but as we saw with previous optional training sessions where only a few players would come out, today you've got a full strength Indian team practicing. So you've got the big guns in Virat Kohli, you've got Rohit Sharma come out and practice here, you've got your fast bowlers as well. Arshdeep Singh is here. The only one big name that's really missing out of the practice session today is KL Rahul, and that's a bit surprising considering that he's not been in fine form, he's not been in great touch. So you would have thought he would have spent some time in the nets, but that wasn't to be. He hasn't really turned up for this optional training session. I'm coming back to you, Pragyan, and I'm going back on that subject that we're discussing. This is Ravindra Jadeja. He misses out. What does that do? Has it set the cat amongst the pigeon as far as now the playing 11 is concerned? First thing that comes to your mind, is Axar Patel a like-for-like replacement? Does he automatically come in and replace Ravindra Jadeja, or do you think there were two other spinners who are higher up in the pecking order who had been waiting for their chances in Ravi Bishnoi, Ravichandran Ashwin? How do you think the Indian management is going to react to this Jadeja missing out?
I think if you talk about Axar Patel, yes, he is a man-to-man replacement for Ravindra Jadeja. In the near future, you will see, when Ravindra Jadeja moves on in his cricketing career, Axar Patel will be the person who will take his place because he is also an all-rounder. He can bowl, he can bat, and he feels well. But when you talk about the playing 11, it is totally up to the team. But if you ask me, if they want an all-rounder who can replace Ravindra Jadeja, it will be Axar Patel. He can straight away walk into the 11. And if you see, he's been doing well. Couple of games here and there, but he has improved over the years. Whenever the chance was given to him, he has delivered. That is the reason he's always been there in the mix. And saying that, again, I would stress on that experience of Ravindra Jadeja will be missed.
Okay, as Pragyan is pointing out, maybe this is a left arms club. Pragyan Ojha himself, a left arm spin bowler, is saying that the experience of Ravindra Jadeja, the kind of quality that he brings to the Indian team is definitely going to be missed. As I said, today is the optional training session, but yesterday it was fun and frolic for the Indian team. They were out in the ocean. They're staying in a hotel which is right next to the beach, and this was a team bonding exercise that they indulged in. Here are some very interesting visuals of the Indian team playing volleyball, going out onto the ocean.
छुट्टी था तो राहुल सर डिसाइडेड कि एक फन एक्टिविटी होगा, थोड़ा स्पोर्ट्स. इट वाज गुड फन, रिलैक्सिंग, तो बहुत मजा आने वाला है. क्रिकेट फैमिली और हम जो एंजॉय करें, आप देख सकते हैं कि सब कितने खुश हैं, कितने एक्साइटेड हैं, क्योंकि फॉर समवन इज समथिंग न्यू. और ये अगर होता रहता है तो इससे आपकी बॉन्डिंग और बनती है और आप मतलब एक टीम की तरह एक साथ एकजुट रहते हैं.
Okay, as I said, fun and frolic for the Indian team. That was the day before, and surprising, you must have seen those visuals there. Ravindra Jadeja was actually just a few hours ago riding that water bicycle, but now comes the news that he has been ruled out of the Asia Cup. Axar Patel replacing him. Just another word, Pragyan, from you. Now that Jadeja is out, and we've established this, that him not being there, India is going to miss him. What does that do now to the Indian batting order? And there's one thought that just crosses my mind. Against Pakistan, most likely India played their best team. I would assume that was the best 11 that the Indian team thinks going into this Asia Cup. In that particular game, the only left-hander who could bat in the top order was Ravi Jadeja. Now that he's out, forget about Jadeja, the all-rounder. Ravindra Jadeja, the left-handed batsman. Now that he's out, does it make it very interesting? Would you now have to ensure that Rishabh Pant comes in to your best 11 because you would need a left-hander in that top order?
Yes, if Rohit and the think tank are thinking of getting a left-hander at the top, when Jadeja is not available, maybe they can look at Rishabh Pant. But if they can actually go ahead with Axar Patel and not think about a left-hander, so maybe we'll see just Hardik Pandya coming in and Axar Patel maybe replacing Ravindra Jadeja. Other than that, I don't see any changes, but it totally depends on the captain. If he wants a left-hander up the order, he will have Rishabh Pant.
Pragyan, Yeah. The only issue with that is, I take your point of, Axar Patel being there and that's a like-for-like replacement. The only issue is, if there is no Pant, you can't have Axar bat higher up the order as you did with Jadeja. So that flexibility goes. Would you still go with Axar then?
See, it's not that Axar Patel cannot bat. We have seen him bat up the order in IPL. So he can, but it depends what Rohit Sharma thinks. But if you talk about Akshar's ability, he can bat and he's batted. If you see for his domestic team, he's been a versatile player. So he has that option open, but it totally depends how much confidence Rohit Sharma has on Axar Patel, or the think tank think that Axar Patel straight away can walk in and bat at any number that he's asked to.
Okay, I just love the camaraderie that left-arm spinners have against each other. Pragyan just standing up for Axar Patel. Don't take me too seriously. I'm just pulling your leg, Pragyan. But just now, talking about the Indian team, as I said, they've been enjoying a good time. They've been doing very well, won both their games. But there are a few question marks also as far as, certain batsmen, their form. And this was an interesting thought shared by former Pakistani captain, Mohammad Hafiz. He feels that Rohit Sharma not being in form has a lot to do with him being captain.
Rohit Sharma recently achieved a historic milestone when India beat Hong Kong. The 40-run win was Rohit's 31st in T20 internationals as captain, taking him past Virat Kohli and putting him second behind MS Dhoni as the most successful Indian captain in T20 eyes. Of late, Rohit's form with the bat has taken a hit, prompting some people to question his ability to lead and get runs at the same time. And former Pakistan player Mohammad Hafiz is one of those who have found chinks in Rohit's armor.
जी ये वाला आप जरा एक्सप्रेशन देखें कि मैच फिनिश होने के बाद रोहित शर्मा के एक्सप्रेशन दें और ये जीते में 40 रन से देखें बॉडी लैंग्वेज मैंने पहले बात की थी कि रोहित शर्मा जब टॉस करने आए तो ये मुझे बहुत वीक लगे, मुझे घबराए लगे, मुझे कंफ्यूज लगे, मुझे वो रोहित शर्मा नजर नहीं आ रहे जिनको मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया हुआ है मैच के अंदर, जिनको हमने देखा हुआ है शानदार इनिंग्स खेलते हैं। मुझे लगता है कि रोहित शर्मा की कैप्टेंसी इनको बहुत प्रेशर दे रही है और इनके पास बहुत सी ऐसी मुश्किलात जिनका सामना करना पड़ रहा है। एक तो इनकी अपनी फॉर्म इस वक्त काफी डिक्लाइन की तरफ जा रही है, अगर आप देखें आईपीएल बुरा गया।
But is Rohit's form a concern? Although he has scored only 150 in the last 15 T20 international innings, his overall stats still remain good. In 37 matches as T20 international captain, Rohit averages 35 with a strike rate of over 150. These numbers are far better considering that when he was not the captain, he averaged just 30 with a strike rate of close to 135. However, Hafiz still believes that Rohit has not regained his batting flow and long-term captaincy might be an issue for the Indian opener.
उसके बाद जब से ये इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं अभी तक इस फॉर्मेट में इनका वो फ्लो वापस नहीं आ रहा। प्लस प्रेशर ऑफ इंडिया, बहुत सी बातें ये कर रहे हैं, ब्रांड ऑफ क्रिकेट, वी विल प्ले पॉजिटिवली एंड दिस एंड दैट, बट नॉट रिफ्लेक्टिंग बाय द टीम, नॉट रिफ्लेक्टिंग बाय हिज ओन बॉडी लैंग्वेज। बात करने को आसान लगती है लेकिन उसको जो करके दिखाना है वो डिफरेंट है। और मुझे लग रहा है कि रोहित की कैप्टेंसी, आई एम नॉट गोना लाइक, ये मेरी ये प्रेडिक्शन नहीं है, मेरा ख्याल है।
While Hafiz has raised concerns over Rohit's form and captaincy, India and Hitman do not seem overly concerned. Rohit would be aiming to come back to form as the Asia Cup reaches its business end. And an in-form Rohit Sharma could be the difference for India, not just in the Asia Cup, but also in their quest of ending their ICC jinx. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Pragyan Ojha is still with us on the show. Pragyan, you reckon there is any merit to this argument that Mohammad Hafiz makes that maybe the pressure of captaincy is taking a toll on Rohit Sharma? It comes to me as a big surprise considering Rohit may have started captaining India now, but as captain for the longest time as far as his IPL team is concerned and done very well.
I think you've given the answer, and when I was listening to the video that you played before Hafiz, he's one of the most successful captain. He's just won I think 31st T20 game, and after doing all that, beating Hong Kong convincingly, beating Pakistan, maybe at times when you're playing intense, game, and especially, you know, you are there in Dubai, you know how hot it is there. At times, you know, you can see. I don't think this is
Yes.
taking a toll on Rohit Sharma, not at all. He's been there, he's done that, and this is not like first or second year. This is almost like I think 8-9 years, and before that he was also vice captain. So he's been there. He's seen the road. I think he's driving on the same highway what
Yes.
he's already driven so many times. So it's at times, you know, it's very deceptive looking at someone and thinking that he's feeling the pressure. I don't think so. That is not the case here. Maybe Rohit was like, you know, back-to-back game, or maybe, you know, a lot of things goes on in your mind because you're preparing for, you're one of the favorites for the Asia Cup. You
Right.
want to win all the games, and then you've got a big tournament coming up in few months' time. So there are a lot of things going on in your head as a captain. It is very difficult to understand unless you talk to him, unless you watch him regularly. That's when you
Right.
get at least get a glimpse of
Right.
what Rohit Sharma is thinking, because this is nothing new to him. He's handled much
Right.
more critical situations than
That's
this. So it would be very unfair when you just have a glimpse
well.
of him after the game and decide on that maybe it is affecting his
Right.
captaincy, or maybe it is affecting his personal career.
Right, I think it's perfectly summed up by Pragyan Ojha, and I love the word that he used, deceptive. You know, Rohit Sharma on the field can be deceptive. He's just like that, very nonchalant, very relaxed. That doesn't mean that he's not intense. I've been observing him here. He's looking as relaxed as ever. Of course, you know, he showed glimpse of his batting as well with the 31, fluent 31 that he got in the last game. I'm afraid that's all the time that we have in this edition of our special program called Desert Storm. Thanks so much for joining us, Pragyan Ojha. But we leave you with these interesting visual. Remember, it was a very nicely poised game, a grudge game between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. War of words that happened before the game. So this Nagin dance celebration, which actually Bangladesh made very popular, Sri Lanka did that after beating Bangladesh and qualifying for the Super Fours. Enjoy this. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time. Bye bye.
He'll take it too. They've got to come back for two. Work it long on. He is Mossadegh. Scores a level. Beautifully hit. It was hit straight. But the advantage was the previous hit went towards mid-wicket. Shakib moved mid-on in that direction. Oh dear, the siren goes off. It's another no ball. Sri Lanka win. It's all done and dusted with 3 balls to spare. And look what it means to them as well. They advance to the Super Fours. What a run chase. They're going to double check. They're celebrating already. The umpires are holding their arms up saying, just wait a moment.